Off the coast of Japan, in the calm Seto Inland Sea, lies a small island known widely today as Rabbit Island. Step ashore, and you immediately understand why. Hordes of friendly, free-ranging domestic rabbits hop across the paths, eagerly approaching visitors who offer food. This charming scene draws thousands seeking a unique encounter with nature. But this island, Okunoshima, holds a past far darker than its fluffy inhabitants suggest. Beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic haven lies a deeply hidden history, tied to one of the 20th century's most horrifying weapons. It is a place of stark contrast, where innocent life now thrives, over the buried remnants of a toxic secret. The island's transformation began long before the rabbits arrived. In 1925, following extensive research into chemical weapons programs in the West, Imperial Japanese Army launched its own covert initiative. The world was entering an era where chemical warfare was a grim reality, and Japan wanted its own capabilities. From 1927 to 1929, a secret chemical munitions plant took shape on Okunoshima. This was no ordinary factory. It was built with a specific, clandestine purpose, producing poison gas on an industrial scale for military use. Over its operational years, the plant churned out more than 6 kilotons of chemical agents. Mustard gas, known for its blistering effects, and tear gas, designed to incapacitate, were the primary products. The sheer volume hints at the scale of Japan's chemical warfare ambitions. This occurred despite Japan being a signatory to the 1925 Geneva Protocol. The protocol banned the use of chemical weapons in warfare, but crucially, it did not prohibit their development or storage. This loophole allowed nations, including Japan, to build arsenals they were forbidden from deploying. To maintain absolute secrecy, Japan went to extraordinary lengths. Records of Okunoshima were deliberately removed from some maps, attempting to erase its very existence from public knowledge and international scrutiny. The island became a ghost on paper. Okunoshima was chosen for strategic reasons. Its isolation in the inland sea offered natural security. Its distance from major population centers like Tokyo provided a buffer in case of accident. It was the perfect remote location to hide a morally questionable operation. Inside the heavily guarded plant, the reality for workers was brutal. Working conditions were incredibly harsh, shrouded in secrecy. The local fish preservation processor was repurposed into a toxic gas reactor, symbolizing the radical shift the island underwent. Workers were not told what they were manufacturing. Safety equipment was inadequate. As a direct result, many suffered debilitating illnesses from toxic exposure. The long-term health consequences were a grim price paid by those who labored in ignorance. When World War II ended, the evidence of Okunoshima's role needed to disappear. Documents related to the plant were systematically burned. Allied occupation forces oversaw the disposal of the remaining gas, resorting to methods like dumping, burning, or burying the hazardous materials. Adding another layer to the secrecy, people involved were instructed to remain silent about the project. This mandate ensured the island's wartime activities remained largely unknown for decades, burying not just the gas, but the truth. The workers who suffered health problems from their exposure faced a long battle. Decades passed before victims from the plant finally received government aid for their medical treatment. The human cost of the secret operation was a burden carried for years. Today's rabbits are a different story. The large population isn't a direct legacy of the wartime operations. These free-ranging animals are descended from rabbits intentionally released when the island was developed into a park after the war ended. It is a common misconception they are related to the test animals. During the war, rabbits were indeed used at the plant to test the effectiveness of the chemical weapons. But those unfortunate creatures were euthanized or killed when the factory was demolished. They have no connection to the furry residents that greet visitors today. To confront the island's past and ensure it is not forgotten, the Okunoshima Poison Gas Museum opened in 1988. Its stated purpose is stark and necessary: to alert as many people as possible to the dreadful truths about poison gas. The museum is small, just 2 rooms, but its message is powerful. It provides a basic overview of the plant's construction, the terrible working conditions, and the devastating effects of poison gas on the human body. Artifacts donated by the families of suffering workers help tell their personal plight. The museum's curator, Murakami Hatsuichi, articulated a crucial point. Japan was both a victim and an aggressor in the war. The museum encourages visitors to understand both facets of this history and recognize the vital importance of peace. Scattered across the island are the physical remnants of its military past. Ruins of the old forts from the Russo-Japanese War and the gas factory buildings still stand. Entry is prohibited now. The structures are run-down and dangerous. Despite its heavy history and the presence of the ruins, Okinoshima is part of Japan's Inland Sea National Park system. It balances the solemn duty of remembrance with its role as a natural and recreational area, offering walking trails and campsites. Getting to Okinoshima involves a journey. Travelers typically take the bullet train to Mihara Station, switch to a local train to Tadanoumi, and then catch a ferry. Direct ferries from Mihara Port are also available on weekends. Connecting Okinoshima to the mainland city of Takara is the Chushi Power Line crossing. Its pylons are a prominent feature, including the tallest power line in Japan, a modern utility, contrasting with the island's historical isolation.